Hello and welcome back to a new video. So today I'm going to be benchmarking Enshrouded on the GTX 1650. So like normal, of course I'm going to be starting at 1080p on lower settings. So this is already 1080p at the lowest. Max performance mode is what the game calls it. And as you can see, it is pretty poor performance. In fact, very poor performance to be honest. For the visuals on display here. The max performance mode has FSR performance enabled by default as well, so we can't do anything more with FSR to get better frame rates than this. So yeah, it's honestly, yeah, very disappointing the performance of this game on this graphics card, but I guess it did say that it needed GTX 1060 minimum, but to be honest this just looks like bad optimization because I do not think the graphics justify frame rates this low. If the game had insane graphics, even at the lowest preset, then, you know, I'd accept it more, but it doesn't seem to. The game looks kind of bad at these settings. I mean, it kind of looks like Powerworld at the lowest settings, if not worse. It had this as well, FSR performance enabled, and it's only getting 30. I mean, at least Powerworld got like 60 at lower settings. But so yeah, disappointing performance. You can expect kind of around 30, so I guess you could potentially play like this, but it's far from ideal, obviously. So yeah, pretty disappointing overall. But I guess it again it is just about playable, I suppose. Just about. Okay, so next up, we are going to be checking out performance. So the max performance is lowest settings basically. Performance is effectively low settings, and it has FSR balance on by default this time. Most of this stuff on performance. You can see we've got a bit more detail here. But yeah, the frame rate's suffering quite a substantial amount. As you can see, we're in kind of the mid-20s, so mid to late 20s, so it's pretty choppy. The only good thing about this game is that actually isn't really stuttering, but the frame rate just, it's difficult to accept it like this. Definitely wouldn't recommend this experience, obviously. So yeah. Pretty disappointing. And unfortunately, FSR performance isn't enough to get this above 30 on these settings. Not consistently. As you can see, it will drop a little bit still. I mean, I guess you could maybe play like this on FSR performance though. Possibly. Again, there are drops. It's not ideal. Definitely not ideal. So yeah, this is the game at low settings. Next up, balance. So effectively medium. The thing I don't like about this game as well, with its optimization, not the actual game itself, but just the optimization of performance, is that it has FSR like built into the mode. So like effectively medium settings has FSR balance built into it. It kind of reminds me of like Remnant 2 situation where they built the game around FSR because I guess how poorly optimized it is. So like even on the medium settings, like FSR balance is turned on by default. And the GTX 1060 being the minimum GPU is based around it being able to run the minimum settings on FSR performance pretty much. So yeah. And as you can see again, we're getting in the mid-20s, so it's just not where the performance just isn't what you want it to be, obviously. It leaves a lot to be desired. And it is a shame. Because the graphics do look pretty decent at this. They look decent at this preset, but still I don't think enough to justify this bad of performance. I've seen much better looking games than this around on GTX 6050, much higher FPS, so yeah. Next up, quality. So this is effectively high settings. And as you can see, things are not looking good. Yeah, things are looking very bad. In fact, as you can see, we're getting into teens. You really don't want to play like this. Very choppy. And yeah, as you can see, my RAM usage is very high as well. I think because of the lack of VRAM. I mean, it makes sense with this high reset. So yeah, definitely not playable here. Not in these settings. And then obviously the same, and this is with FSR quality as well. And anyway, obviously the same will be the case with max quality, except will be even worse performance wise. As you can see, shockingly we are single digit FPS now, which is obviously very bad. I'm guessing you need an extremely powerful GPU to get 60 FPS in this kind of settings, although I think VRAM might be part of the issue here, hence why my RAM usage is so high. So yeah, great graphics, but not playable at all. It's more like a slideshow now, so yeah, that's that. A real shame. Definitely need a much more powerful GPU to be able to run in these settings, that's for sure. So anyway, now I'm going to try and decrease the game settings so that we can kind of get it as playable as possible. So obviously it's preferable to play at max performance in this game, even if it looks way worse. And I guess you can decrease the resolution as well, so if you put it on 720p, you see we do have higher FPS now. But obviously it's at the cost of image quality. I mean, so at least the game's way above 30 FPS now. It's getting in the 40s at times, but yeah, obviously the image quality is very poor. So yeah, if you're okay with this kind of image quality, then by all means go ahead and play the game. I mean, then go ahead and buy the game if you're fine with this image quality. But obviously, it's pretty jarring. If you put it on FSR quality, however, can still get kind of 30-ish FPS experience. And image quality definitely isn't so bad, but isn't as bad, but it's honestly not much better than 1080p at the lowest settings, so that's kind of what I'd recommend, kind of like a 30-ish FPS experience, because you do have to sacrifice image quality to quite a substantial degree to get anything higher, really. With 30 FPS, it's not sure that it's worth it, and 60 FPS just seems out of the question, unfortunately, with the optimization that this game has. So this has been my benchmark on Enshrouded for you on the GTX 6050. I hope that you found it informative, and of course don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with more benchmarks very soon.